So let's talk about Gamescom. This was 2 hours long, the event. It felt
it was
long.
a couple of days, but
technically 2.5 hours if you count the pre-show.
Sorry, Nate. Gamescom opening
that's
night
right.
live.
That's right.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that exhilarating Xbox show the day before. Gamescom, opening night live. There were actually a lot of games there. I'll at least give them credit there. There was a lot going on here. It still felt like it was a long event though, when they were going
Because it only had about 6 things that were worthwhile.
Okay, so obviously the big title.
Night lives though.
Couple of the big titles. Saints Row. It's getting a full reboot. People seem divided on it. I will say that looking through it, it's at least the concept of it sounds good. You're going to kind of start from nothing and build your way up.
Sounds like Saints Row 2, which was a great game.
Yeah, what's wrong with it? Why is it divided? I mean, I thought it looked kind of cool.
Hipster, like hipster, kind of like.
I don't think they're wrong either. And I like this is like okay, so I'm a Saints Row 3 and 4 fan. That's where I got my jollies in that series, and I love it. I would love them to keep going down that route. I recognize that they weren't going to do that though. But I think I don't know if it's divided. I think we might be united in sort of saying okay. So I think the Saints Row 2 fans, Nate and MBG may be excluded here, but they seem to be mad that they were not going completely back just to 2 and pretending 3 and 4 didn't happen, and sticking with that same crew of characters and stuff. And then I'm upset that they're not going like down the wacky road and going with time travel and all this other stuff. I think the biggest mistake though is the characters do seem kind of whack. Like
they do seem kind of strange.
So like they're like talk about like they're complaining about student loans and all this stuff, and it feels like a parody of like what you would see on like a conservative like Instagram account or something like that of like this is what liberals are really like.
I did see one person's comment say these look like people who spend all day on Twitter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was laughing. Who spend all day on Twitter don't like people who spend all day on Twitter. That's the thing. I think this is a really poor decision for like basing your characters around what people like see in their head as whiny millennials. No one likes that thing because like even people who hate like student loans and do eat avocado toast don't see themselves that way. They just go to their job and they work hard.
Zoomers. These are not. These are definitely Zoomers.
I don't think it's anyone really. I don't think there's anybody who's really like these Saints Row characters, and I think it's going to be a backlash.
There are. Trust me. I live in California. There are.
Okay, fair enough. But it's like you shouldn't base your game around them because they are instantly dislikable, at least from what I've seen so far. But I'll try the game. I'll give it a shot. We're going to be playing it in a couple months. So, but from what I've seen so far, I'm not too excited.
There's been no gameplay shown, right? It was just that.
Yeah, a little bit of gameplay.
They showed a few seconds. Media saw a longer clip of gameplay. And
my coworker saw it. Yeah.
I mean, generally people seemed high on the gameplay. They saw promise in what was actually shown to the media, not the 2 seconds that was shown at Gamescom.
But like what's described sounds cool. They're like, oh yeah, you start from nothing and you build up like real estate and you have businesses and you like run this bit. You eventually build up to this massive crime organization. And it's like the characters that we saw in the beginning don't seem like the people who are going to do that. Like
they looked like Watchdog characters at first.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good point.
As soon as I saw them, I was like, this is Watch Dogs 2. As soon as I saw the animatic, I don't know that based off the that cutscene, whatever the movie that they showed for that, I was like, that doesn't really sell me on anything. But I do want to see the gameplay. I've enjoyed Saints Row, but that whatever that was that they showed, I was like, this ain't it for me. I gotta see that gameplay.
We did have Marvel Midnight Suns. It's supposed to be the Fire Axis.
The trailer was diarrhea. Like you watch the trailer and it's like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a Marvel action game, and they're like, yeah, so this is a real-time strategy game. It's like, okay, nothing in that trailer made you think, oh, this is a real-time strategy game. Nothing, literally nothing.
It's a strategy RPG. It's a strategy RPG, Sean.
Yeah, show me a little gameplay.
The gameplay
in the trailer.
I think
it's a strategy RPG,
soon, aren't they? They're showing gameplay soon on that, aren't
September
they?
1st.
September 1st.
Gameplay. I'm not. I like gameplay. Like I see what Sean is saying in terms of like not having gameplay, and I hate that. But it's from the makers of XCOM, so I'm instantly. I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be pretty good.
And it's going to be more like Fire Emblem. It sounds like it's going to be like a Fire Emblem take on it.
It is going to be more like Fire Emblem based off of what they said, because you have like you can like build relationships with the other Marvel
your
characters.
Custom character that isn't a Marvel hero, a traditional Marvel hero. It's a new character that you're customizing, and then you're going to be able to get buddy with Wolverine. I don't think you're going to be able to have sex with Wolverine, but it's going to be.
Then I'm out.
Like,
I'm out.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, why even make this game?
Wolverine will tear you up, bro. Now, you know.
Well, what am I buying the game for? Come on. Yeah.
Wait, Sean, there's a Switch logo on the title card.
No, I know.
It's the greatest game ever.
No.
Because the Metal Slug stuff.
Yes, because I love No More Heroes 3 so much.
You know what? I will see the gameplay soon. And,
you know what? I have to say something else about No More Heroes 3.
Oh,
friggin' game crashed on me 5 times.
Oh my god.
Look at you, problem. But
it crashed on me once.
I'm sitting down playing. I'm like, all right, I'm having some fun. Card crash. I'm like, fuck you.
It didn't crash on me. Good thing it didn't crash on me. Fortunately for me.
Yeah, but what about 10 minutes or so of Call of Duty Vanguard?
Oh goodness gracious!
Jesus Lord,
that was terrible.
It kept going. Yeah, it kept going. I was like, what? I mean, it visually looks good. I don't really see anything too different, other than I guess they were kind of scaling some walls. That I'm like,
yeah, it's a little verticality.
I mean, I guess. It's back to World War II. That's the problem, because over with Battlefield, they're swinging with grappling hooks around tornadoes, and I'm like, that looks fun. And then here they're like, hold on, I took a shot. Let me go ahead and just hold on. Okay,
load my musket.
I mean, the problem with these Call of Duty presentations, it's always the same stuff. This is so heavily scripted. When you play the sequence, it's not going to be anything like that, and it's all this marketing bullshit. Like visually, yeah, it looks like a nice step up. I'm not playing this Call of Duty. I don't care about this Call of Duty. That was a 15-minute nap interval during Gamescom opening night live. And you know what, Jeff? You don't even need to throw that in the next show.
I just he's gonna take it. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. They come knocking with a bag, and Jeff Keighley's gonna be like,
like it's big enough. That's one of the big enough games where he just takes it. Like, yeah, he charges a lot of companies to be in there, but if they just show up and say, "Hey, here's Call of Duty," he'll take it.
Yep.
He over morals.
We had TMNT, Shredder's Revenge. TMNT, it's coming out next year now. By the way, it was implied in interviews and all of this that it was going to come out this year.
Thank you.
I went back and looked.
To chastise me, saying, never 2021.
You just needed to talk to me. I would have told you what was going on.
Why is that, MVG?
Well, from what I was told, it was always coming out next year.
Okay.
Sounds like marketing trickery going on.
April O'Neil is also a playable character.
Where's Casey Jones?
Hold on. You look at the logo. You look where April is, top right. There's a spot in the top left.
Casey's coming. Casey. If they got April there, Casey's coming. Yeah.
I think so. Mate, what if they have a whole bunch of playable characters?
They got to put Metalhead in there, man. Be awesome.
They could do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Splinter. You need Splinter.
Splinters. That's a good one.
Splinter should be OP though. He should be out there just one.
That's the last character you unlock, then, right? Is Splinter, and he just one shots everything.
April O'Neil's awesome though. It's so good that they put it in again.
See, I would think Metalhead would be an enemy. He'd be a boss.
No, they eventually changed it so that Donatello made him, and he was just used by them to help out.
Okay.
I was glad to see the Rat King. That was awesome.
Let's see. We had Cult of Lamb trailer, Midnight Express that got a trailer. It's coming out summer 2022. Morgana from Persona is part of Super Monkey Ball. Why isn't it Joker? Why is it Morgana?
Morgana is more fitting because it's a silly looking cat.
Why isn't it a cool Sega character? Was my question.
Whoa! Gosh. You can be the Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Can I be the Saturn?
Be the car from the Daytona.
Yeah.
Can you be the Saturn?
That would be funny if they did that.
The Yakuza, you can be like one of the Yakuza dudes.
Yeah, you can be the main character from Yakuza.
Wait, did they have? What about the character from Knights?
Sega doesn't
the character from Knights.
It's not a AAA game. Nope.
In the backyard. First off, Knights has been acknowledged and it's been a while, but it's been acknowledged. What was it? A pinball game.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
You mean Plinko? Yeah, Pachinko.
Splitgate that has Season 0 with a new map out now. Riders Republic got a trailer. UFL. So there's just another soccer game. What was that was weird. UFL.
Yeah.
Is a
that
soccer game.
Free to play, free to win, or something.
Yeah, but
stupid.
But
tagline.
Fair to win. Fair to win.
Isn't Pro Evolution Soccer going free to play as well.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's what I thought this was at
it.
first. I was like, oh, is this like gameplay for it or something? No, it's a whole nother game. Like, oh, weird.
Isn't it also using the Unreal Engine too? Because aren't they switching to
They changed to Unreal.
So, and I think this game, I think UFL was like Unreal Engine. So that's why I thought it was eFootball too. It was weird.
Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is coming spring 2022. People are really hyped for that game. People keep asking about that game. It's very.
I feel like that game's been out for like 2 years.
This game's been pushed for a while, hasn't it? Like, it was supposed to come out last year or something, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think it was actually supposed to come out like fall 202019.
Yeah, it was supposed to be out around the last Star Wars movie.
So it's 2 years delayed.
Yep.
It's synced off planet. I don't know what that game was, but they showed like a quick trailer for it. The Outlast Trials next year.
Yeah,
you're on that, right? Yep.
Love Outlast.
Good game.
Dokey V, we talked about that a little bit already. Jurassic World Evolution 2, November 9th. Checking that out, Sean?
I don't know. I need to see what they've done differently because they didn't really say what's been changed from Jurassic World 1. I know there's like the aquatic creatures now, but I want to see. I want to like see what they've actually done to improve it or change it.
We had another Far Cry 6. Has anyone else beaten Far Cry 6 here? Because I feel like I have.
Yes.
Like how many trailers and pieces of media have you seen
Far Cry 5?
At least a dozen since
It's
June.
a lot, isn't it? Like I don't know. I feel like every event I watch
every event, every gaming event that takes place.
And I keep forgetting that's even coming out.
Mike Minotti, my co-host over on GameSpeak Decides, he did a preview event for it and played and then he's like, okay, I'll start it, and then they had him play for like 5 hours, and by then he's like, I'm done. I don't need to play that game ever again.
Really? Oh man!
Yeah, I mean, not that it's good or bad one way or the other, just like it's still Far Cry, so it's like
That's a shame because the main
for
villain
5 hours. That's crazy.
Is the main villain's actually I'm sure going to be interesting in the game because the actor for it, and all this,
of course,
it's Far Cry needs a reboot.
You're just better off just watching Breaking Bad. That's what what I'm gonna do instead. I'm just gonna watch Breaking Bad again.
We just saw Saints Row get a reboot, and like people are 50-50 on it now, but I feel like Far Cry needs a reboot. I think it's time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought Far Cry 4 and 5. These games are just. I don't think they're very good. They're just not very. They're good, but they're just like. It's so much of the same thing. It's so like there's no the formula is just, just done like over and over again.
They hit 3, and 3 was like
3 was very good.
3 was just really solid on everything, but like it was like they really hit a stride with villains and characters in that game, and so they mimicked that with 4, and it was very samey. It just couldn't live up to 3, but it did a good enough job still being a good game. And then you get to 5, and it's like. Same concept. In 6, same concept, and here's a random spin-off game, and here's a random spin-off game, and too much Primal Far Cry, too much of the same. Like Far Cry, Primal is literally the same map as 4, but now there's no guns.
What happened to Ubisoft?
A lot.
They have a lot of studios.
A lot of money.
If something works, they have to stick with it.
Yeah, they make a lot of people buy Far Cry over.
Far Cry successful. Comes out in December, still does very well.
You just keep buying Far Cry over and over and over. So
let's see, we got Park Beyond that's coming out in 2022. Jet the Far Shore that's out October 5th. New World got a trailer. Evan, you checking out New World?
Probably. I checked out the last beta run with my buddies. It's okay.
It's coming September 28th according to that trailer. Lost Judgment got another trailer. Replace. Okay, so Replace looks awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I keep seeing this. I'm like, wow, this game looks incredible.
It looks so good. Yes.
It was a highlight from the Xbox E3 show, and I'm hyped about that game.
Yeah, that's next year. Still, okay. Age of Empires 4 gameplay trailer. Then we had Crossfire X trailer. I thought Crossfire X was already supposed to be out. Did that get delayed?
No, Crossfire X is in development hell from what I've heard. So like the Remedy side of it, I think is like just having a rough time getting the campaign together. Who knows? I think they might be past that, but they were in a rough patch for quite some time. And that's why we haven't heard much about it. That's why you might feel like it's already out because it's been announced for so long. You figured it must have came along already, but nope, still haven't seen much from it.
Sifu got a trailer. It's coming out February 22nd. Still looks very good.
That game looks good.
The game looks good, but it's weird that Sony wasn't able to secure the release date for it in the State of Play in July. Instead, they had the delay announcement trailer, and then a month later, Gamescom just gives the release date.
Yeah, maybe I guess they were just ready to give it now. I don't know. And then we had two big announcements. Kind of one like was kind of big, but I knew Sean would be interested in this one because he has the collector's edition baby for this. That's Death Stranding Director's Cut. Okay, so we got thrusters, we got cargo catapults all over the place. There's a buddy bot, and they have some action-oriented delivery missions. Looks kind of like Metal Gear.
It's Death Stranding Fun Edition.
I saw this on Twitter. Go ahead, tell people what you tweeted out. Go ahead, let them know. What did you say?
Hold on. I say a lot of things on Twitter. What did I say?
It's coming out September 24th. I gotta hear what the verified person on Twitter said.
I think the enhancements they're adding to the game are kind of cool, but I can't help thinking the absolute disgust that Kojima's probably having, that he's had to add those additions into the game because he doesn't want to.
Debasing himself, right?
Yeah.
Really? Trackmania in there. Yeah. Add those in. You think
I don't think he wants to add those in at all. I think he's just been told this is what we need to do for the director's cut.
Down the tweet.
They told him do something for the PS5 version. You got to do something. We're gonna call it a director's cut, and he was like, "Excuse me." I know what a director's cut is. This is not a director's cut. And they're like, we're calling it a director's cut. Get back to work.
He put a whole thing on Twitter about the literal meaning of director's cut. It's like, dude, that's just marketing.
Yeah, but he did not want to be associated with that decision. You could tell. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean.
Death Stranding Fun Edition. Now, all of you people who capped and said the core gameplay was fun must hate this game because this looks like an actual video game with stuff to do now.
Man.
I'm not wrong.
Jesus.
I remember when the game first came out, the whole topic around it was the gameplay that you were just walking. And now we're like on racetracks and like wiping people out Metal Gear Solid style.
Doing sweet wet stunts on your bike. Yeah.
I was replaying it on my PC like a month ago. I freaking love that game. I'll pick up the director's cut.
Yeah.
You have a sickness.
I think it's funny seeing all the stuff they've added to it and how they're advertising it as, like, I don't know, I feel like with the director's cut, like you still want to resell the game to people who didn't pick it up. Like, oh, what's the interesting part? What's the story here? This trailer's like, look at all this wacky stuff you're doing in this empty world. What's the story? I don't know. Who cares? Look, you could race a car now. Now there's motorcycles. You could you could just get on a bot that carries you around the map. And I'm like, I mean, this is a cool advertisement for people who played the game. It's like, oh, wow, they really put a lot of stuff in here. But to anyone who doesn't know anything about this game, that's a bad advertisement. It's like, here's a bunch of nonsense going on.
I'm going to head back to it, provided I can get my save off of the PS4. And like it's similar to what we had recently with Ghost of Tsushima, where it was real easy to get your save over. If it's like that, then I'll jump in and check it out again, just to see the new content. And apparently these base infiltration missions, which looks like Metal Gear Stranding, basically. I will be checking it out again, though. That's September 24th. You gonna check this out, Sean?
No.
Oh. You're not gonna go back and check it out again? See what's there?
No.
I'm curious about the DualSense integration to see what they have added there, because I feel like those adaptive triggers is what this game like really could have used. With some of the balancing aspects and
that would be cool. If they pull that off, that'll be really cool, actually. Yeah, good point. I didn't even think about that.
So that's what I'm really curious about. Just all the and of course, you got the rain coming down, which I'm assuming they're going to use the DualSense similar to what they have with Returnal, where you get like a lot of kind of the rain effects and all of this. And I guess technically, with Lou, when you drop Lou down, you have to pick Lou up to then like rock back and forth. I almost wonder if they'll do something with the advanced haptic feedback with that, where you can almost feel Lou kind of bouncing around in that jar as well.
Get him
just a baby the jar, like you're banging its head against the side of the jar. Yeah, totally.
Because we did that with like the marbles kind of in 1-2 switch, and that had a similar effect. So I wonder if they're going to have something like that where it kind of feels like something is rattling around inside the DualSense controller as well.
It's only $50 on Amazon.
I mean, if you already have Death Stranding, it's like a $10 upgrade.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's seeing that it's not a $70 release right now.
It's a $50 release?
It's $50 on Amazon right now.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strange. Okay. Then we had Horizon Forbidden West. This was the big announcement. We did get a release date for it, and MVG was right. It's not coming out this year. Although it's August, like the end of August. So did anyone really think it was coming out this year now? Like anybody? Because
Sean did.
Initially, and then In May, I changed my mind. I was like, no, I don't think it's coming.
February 18th is when it's coming out. So 4 days before Sifu comes out. And then we have Saints Row that week. So
busy month.
February's, I mean, really, if you look at 2022, because I was looking at it for a video today, there's like 30 something games we already know about for 2022, or supposedly are coming. A lot of them got delayed out of this year, so we assume they're going to make next year. Like that's a pretty busy year, and then you figure we'll get more games from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo at least that announced them. I mean, it's going to be packed.
Sony starts off 2022 fairly strong. If current undated games remain on schedule, this includes Sony and third-party published games for the PlayStation 5. Their first half is going to look very impressive, and it's unfortunate for Microsoft, who is probably going to have another vacant 6 months to start 2022. So,
Redfall, until Redfall, in the summer,
that's probably the first major Microsoft exclusive release for them. So we're looking at a very similar situation for 2021 for the Xbox, unfortunately.
Well, you think also Sony has their PlayStation VR 2 headset out next year as well?
Yeah, probably by the holiday.
So I'll have new hardware too to go along with that, and some new games for that as well. I think next year is gonna be a big year for Sony. I think they're gonna have a lot of stuff hitting like left and right, and new hardware.
Even if they just get the games that they originally slated for 2021 with God of War and Gran Turismo 7, now you include Horizon in that mix. That's 3 big first-party published games just coming out in 2022, and that doesn't include anything that was unannounced at this point.
Forspoken, I think is set for 2022 as well.
Yeah, Forspoken is 2022.
What about Final Fantasy 16? What do you think the odds of that?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16,
2022.
Chance. Yeah.
Maybe Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm. Metal Gear remake.
The game doesn't exist. How many times do I have to say on the show?
Can you prove
Silent
it
Hill doesn't exist?
Can you prove that it does?
Bullshit.
How dare you diminish Uber team's efforts on Silent Hill right now?
Oh, we do have. There's Stalker 2. Stalker 2's out. April.
February. I thought it was February.
It's like a 3-month exclusive though, so like that will also hit that for 6 months for PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I mean, Stalker 2 isn't going to be enough to. I mean, Microsoft's big thing for the first half of 2022 right now is going to say we patched Halo Infinite with co-op multiplayer.
Yeah, right. Like that's because
we'll call campaign, but we already played through campaign.
Yeah. So I mean, Sony's in a really strong spot. Ideally, they begin to flesh out a little more of their early half of 2022 plans in a state of play set for next month. They could wait a little longer if they choose to, but I mean, Microsoft is going to have a lot of competition in the first half of 2022, and they need answers.
Yeah, and like we already see Nintendo showing up with Pokemon Arceus. That's going to kick off the year, and then we're going to get, I assume, Splatoon 3. That could be like a first half of the year. Summer. And then we roll into Breath of the Wild
on
2,
Microsoft. Possibly. I'm like, they got to get to E3 is the thing. Like, because if they can get to E3 next year, then they could start talking about here's Starfield for this holiday, and here's a bunch of stuff that really is coming in 2023, and then you are going to get the Avoweds and Perfect Darks and everything else that we've heard about for years now. So if they can get to next E3, they'll be fine. But from now until that E3, with just pretty much Halo and then the promise of Redfall, it is going to be pretty. I guess if Stalker 2 comes out and Stalker 2 is really good and like gets conversation, which I am still skeptical about, then maybe they'll be okay. But yeah, it's going to be a Sony first half of the year, which has been kind of how it's been for the last few years, right? Where the first half of the year, Sony's just dominated.
Yes.
I love lists.
I made a list of all the games that I had looked at that are coming up next year. I can go through them very, very quickly. I think it's like 30-something games. Elden Ring, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Rainbow Six Extraction, Horizon Forbidden West, Sifu, Saints Row, Evil Dead, WWE 2K22, that can move to March, actually. Marvel's Midnight Suns, Stalker 2, Test Drive Solar Crown. We already have a release date for that, by the way. That's September 22nd of next year. Starfield, then games without release dates or that have like pretty large windows like Q2, Q3 kind of things. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Redfall, Metal Slug Tactics, Ghostwire Tokyo, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, God of War, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Splatoon 3, Gotham Knights, Hogwarts Legacy, Forspoken, Dead Space, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Gran Turismo 7, Need for Speed, Project Triangle Strategy, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time Remake, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
1/4 of those games will get delayed to 2025.
Dude, half these games got delayed from this year.
Hey,
Prince of Persia remake.
Like a lot of these games got delayed from this year. I should have actually outlined those too. WWE 2K22 got delayed from like a year and a half ago or something.
for the best.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of these games like are already a year delayed, maybe more.
And, I mean, some of them will probably get delayed again because COVID impacts are still being felt, and they're still figuring out really where they are in terms of game development and how much time was lost and what they still have to recover. I mean, it's technically not on your list because it has not yet been announced, but Nintendo's original plan was to release Xenoblade Chronicles 3 this year. It should have been announced several months ago.
What?
Yeah, well, I was going to add that to the list, but it's not going to get announced for like another month or so.
There's no guarantee it's announced this year.
It's not going to get announced this year.
There's no guarantee.
They got to close out at that Nintendo Direct with that.
There's a chance it's announced this fiscal year, but it really depends on where they're planning to slot it in for a release in 2023 or 2022.
But it's going to be. They've got to announce it. They're going to end if they have a direct. They're going to end it direct.
Finish out the direct with it, right?
No, start the direct with it, please.
No, they're going to start. They're going to start the direct with like Smash, like they always do, or something like that.
Justice
they're going to
for the Monado.
They're going to end it. They're going to end it with Xeno 3 and how it's completely kind of like it's been retooled. It's a different type of Xeno. They're going to end it. They've done it before. By the way, they ended a direct with a remaster.
Yeah, but Xenoblade, yeah.
Yeah, so they ended it with the remaster before. So pretty sure.
All I'm saying is next year, like, might be one of the biggest years we've ever seen in gaming, just because of the delays out of this.
I think 2023 is going to be even bigger. Then I really do. I think,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a lot of Microsoft's projects spun up.
Right, and we'll still be getting Sony and Nintendo. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, by 2023, we might be talking about whatever Nintendo's coming up with after the Switch. At that point,
go on.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what 6 years after the Switch release. So then you start thinking year 7 and like what other system they have after that. Family of systems, maybe.
Switch Pro Talk comes back around.
Well, hopefully by 2023 it'll have already like come and gone at that point, because then we're just going next gen. So